I can't believe I'm saying this, but I ship Adrienne. Let's talk about Miraculous, Ladybug and Chat Noir the movie. Hey kings, queens, and non-binary beings. Rare here with a new video in what seems like forever. I wanted to get a video out sooner, but my math class had me in a chokehold for the past 2 months. You may have noticed something a bit different about me. I wanted to work on a new video intro, but animation takes a while. Who would have guessed? So for now, I've got these babies. I had no idea what emotions to make, so hopefully I have enough. I'm not making more of these. These took forever. These were so hard. I procrastinated so much. Anyway, if you haven't heard, Miraculous has a movie out. With gorgeous animation and a pretty great soundtrack, it's easy to say that I had a pretty good time. I'm just here to go over some notes I had and share the speed paint of Marinette. We'll move chronologically and keep track of things I liked, things I didn't, and things that didn't necessarily impact my enjoyment of the movie. Many of these things will also be comparisons to the show, so keep that in mind. Hope you enjoy! Alright, so starting from the beginning, I loved the designs in the Miracle Box where the jewelry sat. As opposed to the show where the design each Miraculous has is inconsistent, with some getting a representation of the full animal and others only getting body parts of the animal, each movie Miraculous gets a beautiful, intricate design of the animal the Miraculous is based on. But I did not like how the Miraculous franchise still cannot give the Miraculous a good explanation for their alignments. Why are the Miraculous designed to be good, but the butterfly is randomly super evil? It would make more sense for all of the Miraculous to be neutral, so that there's the capacity for the butterfly, or any of the Miraculous, to be used for evil. I appreciate that Paris feels a lot more lived in this movie. There are a few places where it still feels a little empty, but it's not nearly as bad as it is in the show. Miraculous feels like it needed to take place in a small city. The movie feels like a day in Paris where some people just decided to stay home. I like that Marinette starts out already awkward with her parents. If she had been awkward with them after becoming Ladybug, it would have made sense why they didn't question her. It's too bad they didn't do that in the movie.
Can you imagine what they think? Stop worrying about what others think. There's only one thing you have to listen to.
Sabine is fantastic. Initially, I thought it was Christina V also singing for Marinette, but that's actually not the case. Marinette's singing voice is a singer by the name of Lou. She does a fantastic job, but it's a bit jarring to hear Christina's higher-pitched speaking voice paired with Lou's deeper singing voice. Each song, you kinda have to get used to it all over, but it doesn't take long, and I feel like I could enjoy the rest of each song once I got used to it. I think this is a reference to this scene in the PV. If so, I love it. Finally, we get to see Marinette being a fashion designer very clearly, and her designs are great. Couldn't catch Movie Mari making those costumes in season 4 of Miraculous. Additionally, I really like that Mari isn't clumsy and that's it. She's got anxiety from the get-go and lets it seriously dominate her life and actions to the point where she'll tell people to not be her friend. It makes her clumsiness make much more sense, like that one proverb where the frog that avoids the rain gets drenched. She's so desperate to avoid embarrassment that she constantly embarrasses herself. Hello, editing Rare here. Apparently Marinette is left-handed and I never realized it. So yeah, she really just like me for real. Mari's sketchbook exploding into pink sparkles above the Eiffel Tower in If I Believed in Me seems like a reference to the Miraculous Ladybug power, and I thought that was cool. I like how Gabriel is out in the open as opposed to being a recluse all the time, and I liked how we could finally see his company and the kinds of things he creates. Even though it's not in the movie, it makes why Marinette would be a fan of him make a lot more sense. Even her fashion designs match his style. Side note, if you think about it, a lot of these issues can be solved by just making the movie a bit longer, or maybe even a two-parter similar to the show's origin story. Natalie is beautiful as always. I like that Marinette actually has a ways to walk to get to school instead of being like a block away. It makes a lot of sense that she could be late now and then. Chloe's choice of outfit being a Gabriel design is a great little detail, and it makes her being mean to Marinette work well. But, and it could just be me, but it feels like the movie wants us to think that Chloe was bullying Mari for a while before that. I don't know, Chloe just feels a little too comfortable being mean to Marinette for what seems like a first-time offense. It's weird that with the weird amount of screen time Chloe has, they don't clarify this. Or maybe I'm just dumb. But luckily for Marinette, Alia is a great friend and knows exactly how to get Chloe off of Mari's back. It also helps that Chloe acts more like a popular girl and actually considers how her actions may affect her public reputation.
For the first time in forever.
I feel bad for Marinette. I really love her in this movie. She reminds me of season 1 Mari, but better and more relatable. I also actually feel bad for Gabe. Him talking about putting off making a dress for Emily that she would never actually get to wear is incredibly heartbreaking. Also, thank you, Jeremy, for having Luca actually be shown as Julica's brother and having them go to school together instead of having Luca come out of nowhere. I'm in love with the school library, by the way. It's so pretty. I like that the movie really drives home the point that Marinette is an unlucky girl who gets the power of luck, and Adrien is a relatively lucky boy who gets the power of misfortune. This is how teenagers stalk their crushes. They watch them at school, not try and break into their house or steal their phone. This is something teenagers can relate to. I didn't like that Mari still falls for Adrien for being cute and kind, but at least there's the hint that she also likes him for not being afraid of / making fun of her for being clumsy.
Your world fashion interview tomorrow, first thing.
Fine. Merci, Natalie.
Dinner. With your son, sir.
No, I have work to do.
He needs his father.
I absolutely love Natalie being concerned about Adrien. If you're not sure why, you can check out this Miraculous video in the iCard.
I'm sorry, Adrien.
I know the drill.
I much prefer this Natalie over cold to everyone except the man she simps for Natalie. Like, if you don't want her, Gabe, I'll treat her well. Long-haired Gabe is something I, do not like. And that's saying something, because I love long-haired men. This being the only photo of the Agrestes we see is weird. Did they take no other photos? Gabe and Adrien both have one, and then there's the one in the hallway too? I appreciate Adrien's memory of Emily acting, and it's also an interesting choice to make that day Emily's birthday. Heartbreaking, but it also never comes up again. Calling the Miraculous the Ladybug and Chat Noir Miraculous is dumb, because wielders can have different names from Ladybug or Cat Noir. This may be a translation error, but I don't know. However, I do love the idea of Tiki and Plag not getting along, and mirroring Ladybug and Cat Noir. It's too bad we never get to see them interact. How is no one questioning the magical floating earrings that Fu is chasing? I love that Gabriel is actually hesitant to wield the Miraculous. He actually stops for a second to consider if what he wants is worth what he's about to cause. Marinette jumping into the street to save Fu is a much more worthy action to make her Ladybug. It requires her to put herself in danger for the benefit of someone else, as opposed to just using some time out of her day to pick things up. That being said, Fu absolutely sucks at recruiting, and it's hilarious. The Kwami also have slightly better designs, and I appreciate Tiki referencing being super old.
But why me? I'm nothing special, but wait and see what you're capable of. I can't be saving the world today. Just trust me when I say you are Ladybug. I'm honestly not. You don't know till you've tried.
I don't know how I feel about You Are Ladybug being based off of the show's theme song, but the ending part where Marinette and Tiki are singing over each other is great.
I'm about to kick your butt if you don't start to listen. I'm about all out of patience making your decision. Things are tough for everyone, you'll learn to fight through. Guess I'm gonna have to decide. There's no time if you don't know I do. You are Ladybug.
But Tiki should never break it down again.
Let me break it down. I've been finding ladybugs for thousands of years. The world always needs one when a threat appears.
Genuinely terrible. Oof, even in the movie we miss part of Adrien's story. How come we can't see him and Plag getting acquainted? But I can kind of forgive it because Cat Noir is a dork and I love it.
Bonjour.
Similar to Marinette, I also thought Bryce was Adrien's singing voice, but it's actually Drew Ryan Scott. He's not a bad singer, but it sounds like he's falling in and out of character. To me, it's more noticeable than Lou's voice just consistently being lower than Christina's. Cat Noir falling for Ladybug is still quite sudden. Guess it doesn't matter the world, Adrien will always fall in love with the first girl clad in a watermelon suit that he sees. Why can Kwame fart, and why did we need to know that? Easily the worst part of the movie, and I feel for Natalie. Plague feels like a middle-aged mentor to Adrien, and it's pretty funny.
To strike back?
Y'all are wrong for that. Cartoony villain Gabe rocks. He gives me Disney or DreamWorks vibes. How did Alia take the photo of Ladybug and Cat Noir tied up inside Notre Dame? And if not her, who did and how? The magician lady is hot. That's it, that's the note. I appreciate Gabriel caring a smidgen about Adrien to at least tell him to leave the area where he's about to potentially kill some people. It works with the ending, but it makes Gabe not caring about dinner with Adrien kind of weird. I guess he doesn't care to spend time with him, he just wants to make sure he's safe. There's no way a coaster would stop like that in a loop, and even if it did, the track wouldn't look like that. Can you tell I'm sort of into roller coasters? I get she was singing, but it's really unclear if Mari transformed in the open or not. Part of the song should have been in her head and the other part should have been out in the open. Also, Courage in Me rocks. It's not well explained if Mari being a better ladybug is just because of the magic of confidence, or if her being willing to work with Cat Noir makes both of them better heroes and more in sync. The stronger together thing. Some people definitely died in that attack, right? Like, Balloon Dude was just smashing straight through the middle of multiple buildings. There's no way there wasn't at least one death. Scrapping the line, "Time to de-evilize," is easily the best decision made for this movie. The partner statement from Ladybug actually holds water now. She and Cat Noir actually can't solve problems alone, as shown in the movie, and they even magically become stronger when they work together. See how we get to have nice things when they're not only explained, but when we're given reasons and proof to actually believe it? I also appreciate Mari being able to hang out with Adrien as a friend. They can get closer and actually feel closer without just giving us cute moments and acting like it's development of their relationship. Did Volkswagen sponsor this movie? That car thing was random. Where'd the ice cream LB and CN were eating go? This is a really cute scene, by the way, and also ties into the actually showing their relationship getting better instead of giving the audience cute moments and saying, okay, now ship it thing. I genuinely take issue with that. It's not enough for the audience to give reasons why they should ship the endgame couple. It's the show's job to make us understand why these characters should be together. And the movie does it quite well. I love Mari being confident and snapping back at Chloe, and I like her believably planning to talk to Adrien and not chicken out. She feels like she's really growing, and we get to see the fruits of her labor. How do Cat Noir and Ladybug know where to meet up? They never show us that, like in the show, Miraculous wielders can use their weapons to communicate. Wow, I actually ship Lady Noir. And yes, that is every bit as weird for me to say as it is for you to hear. I also like Marinette grappling with having a crush on Adrien, but also potentially liking Cat Noir, because they're the same person after all. It makes sense for her to not hate the qualities she likes in one person, just because they're in another person. Gabriel with a beard is weird. Adrien snapping at Gabe is great since Season 5 robbed him of a confrontation. Huh, Mari's shirt is a tank top. I always thought it was a tee. Gabe said he'd have to join Emily if he can't bring her back. Did he just insinuate that he wanted to die? Gabe must be really dumb if he thinks Ladybug and Cat Noir are in the wrong when his creations are definitely killing people. And if not, came close multiple times. Adrien in bed listening to Careless Whisper is so dramatic.
Looks like you do need me after all.
She never said she did. No need to be salty just because she wouldn't kiss you. Gabriel was holding Cat Noir in the air. How was Mari able to get up to him and grab him from the cloud of butterflies? Gabriel has officially joined the characters that have rejected an Akuma. This is really becoming less of a threat. Gabe is actually sympathetic in this movie. I can't believe it. A Gabriel-Adrien reveal in less than an hour and 42 minutes when the show couldn't even do one in 5 seasons, assuming they wanted to. How did neither Gabe nor Adrien notice Marinette standing off to the side in a situation that only Gabriel, Adrien, and Ladybug were a part of? I liked Chloe helping up Sabrina, and it could just be me, but at the ball she didn't seem nearly as aggressive with her. Sabrina also had some nice development as well, even if minor. I appreciate her wanting to be nice to Marinette even though she can't control Chloe. It's interesting having the miraculous Ladybug power work that way. No, seriously, did Volkswagen sponsor this movie? Mari, Alya, Rose, Julika, Sabrina, and Chloe look outstanding, and Alex in a suit could not be more perfect. Although I suppose Alex in a dress with combat boots would be a close second. I love that Mari feels confident enough to let her dad drop her off now. It's a nice ending to a rather minor story beat. Sarcastic Chorus actually brings up a way this beat could have worked better in his own review of the movie. He makes some pretty good points, so check that out. I don't quite know what's going on with Mari and Chloe anymore, but I like it. Chloe basically saying she's not going to stop bothering Marinette, even if she's giving her a break for now, but Mari being like, bring it, and Chloe understanding that she holds basically no power over her anymore, but will still express her feelings about Mari to her the same way regardless, is cool. Like, their relationship both has and hasn't changed at the same time. I can't really find the words. When the Adrien Marinette reveal came, I was right there crying with Adrien. I couldn't believe it was happening. I really like how they handled it by making it a show of Marinette finally being confident and no longer letting her fears and anxiety control her. Again, a reveal that's better than the show could ever hope to be. And I actually ship movie Adrienette. It's adorable. And I imagine they'll fight better knowing they have a loved one close by that they need to protect. I don't know how Adrien will react to Natalie being the next villain, but yeah. It's still gross and weird that Gabe keeps Emily's body under the house. Also, at least the show had her in a presumably refrigerated tube, but in the movie, she's just in a bush. I appreciate the early confirmation of Emily using the peacock so we're not made to theorize that Gabe happens to have the peacock because maybe Emily used it, but I don't like that it might mean that movie Adrien is also a sentimonster. And those are my thoughts. This was a really nice experience and wonderful to look at as well. I mean, I would hope so. The budget was like $100 million. Overall, I mostly had issues that I think could have been solved with more time, but I also would have loved to see more Alya-Mari interactions, more Adrien-Plagg interactions without the farting, and more Gabriel in general, so his feelings about Emily and Adrien are more fleshed out. While I loved cartoony villain Gabe, it's definitely a bit choppy having him go from literally telling Natalie to mind her own business when she tells him to interact with his son, to singing a peppy villain number, to wanting Adrien's safety, to being so distraught about hurting his son that he just stops pursuing the wish to get his wife back. It could work, it just needed a little more, well, work. So if you're interested in the Miraculous origin story but told a little bit better, check out the movie. It's not perfect as we can see, but it's still a good watch, and Thomas seems to be upset about it, so do it just to make him salty. In all seriousness, Thomas claims that Miraculous is running so long because it's what his producer desires, that he'd be fired if he didn't, quote, make the series last as long as possible. I would feel bad for him because no show should be unnecessarily dragged out, but there's also the fact that the show is very obviously poorly written. There are multiple shows that go on for 3+ seasons, like Miraculous, and don't have the sheer number of flaws that it does. You can have a well-written 5-season show. So while Thomas may think he has a point, he actually doesn't. Also, he's still quite rude to viewers, so I have very little sympathy for this man. But I will say that he is absolutely correct in that the show doesn't give viewers what they want. It almost never does. And that is not a good thing. But anyway, that's that. I hope you enjoyed, and here's the finished drawing of my beloved movie Marinette. As for my own miraculous endeavors, you'll soon be able to find me in a couple of projects, including The Owl House Reanimated and Puss in Boots Reanimated. And if you've seen my community posts, you'll know that I'm also part of Stardust Aficional and working on their project, Project Coach Chanelidae, which is still looking for more members, so be sure to check them out. My own special project is still around, just moving a little slow. I hope to get you guys something real soon. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys around.